Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over how to drive every single Wave 6 track like a pro. We're going to be starting with Rovan today. Now this long stairwell spiral section you want to take like this, but you don't need to go for as many mini turbos just because of the fact that you're going to want to be more focused on catching drafts instead. Mini turbo trick off those stairs. Any turbo trick off those stairs, but not this one. So you can set up well for the next turn. You can also trick off this little Monty Mole. Fun fact. And this track in general, you want to be more focused on memorizing the route because, you know, especially close to the beginning of the release, it's going to be much more important to do that because a lot of people are going to be confused where to go. But for the stairs section, you want to be tricking, Kusan sliding to the left, and then mini turbo tricking off that last ramp. You don't nearly have to do all of that, but if you can do that, that's going to be a lot faster than just tricking off 3 of them normally. Now you can take an ultra mini turbo at this, and take this glider with a mini turbo off of it, land at a drift to the left, so you can set up a super mini turbo to the right on this turn. And then here, you want to be going straight so you can line up really well for the double trick here, which saves a lot of time. And then on this staircase, you want to be tricking really late. If you trick early, you're going to miss it, so make sure you trick late there. And then for the final section, you can take this glider, mini turbo off of it, and that is Rovan. So now we're going to move on to DK Mountain. This one is a lot more difficult of a track to drive because of literally one section of the track. And we're going to go over that real quick. But this section right here, right as you're landing from the glider, you want to hold up so that way you get this little speed boost. And that is a free, basically, 10th of a second time save. And then for that section, you want to make sure you stick to the mountain. So you want to basically follow the line of those coins, even on all 3 laps. And then you want to ride this on the far left, so you can take that really tight. And then for this section at the end, I have a Wave 6 shortcuts video showing you guys exactly how to do that. But basically, you want to brake drift at the end of that turn before you launch into basically the chasm, well, over the chasm at least. Now, you can also take this mountain shortcut, which is brand new in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You want to launch trick, aim for that triangle part of the mountain, and then hold right as much as you can going off the mountain, so that way you can charge a super mini turbo, and on landing, release that to line up well for the rest of the track. Daisy Circuit. Now, Daisy Circuit is a lot more simple to drive than the last 2 tracks, probably combined, but as you're going to see, there's just a lot of snaking in general in this track, which if you're on a mini turbo heavy combo is very important to learn because it's going to help you keep up with the other racers who might not have such mini turbo high combos. Now for this trick, you want to drift to the left, or sorry, drift to the right and go for these coins, take all 4 boost ramps, and then drift off the ramp at the end so you can charge a super mini turbo, which will save quite a bit of time. And then for this section, of course, we went for the coins lap 1, but here, if you want to take it tight, you just go all through the cones. The cones in this game do not slow you down, so you have no fear. And take them like that. And at the end, the exact same thing. Take the first boost panel and take the cones really tight if you want to. Again, drift off the ramp before the ending. Piranha Plant Cove. This track is very difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually a lot simpler and less daunting than you might think. So for this shortcut, you want to be bouncing off that, what I just learned was, I think, brain coral, or yeah, I think it's brain coral. Someone told me in the comments. But yeah, you can call that a big brain shortcut, is what they said, which I found very funny. We could call that the big brain cut if you guys want. But for this cut, you want to be drifting off this ramp and cutting off this entire section. Very similar to the first cut, but this time you take the entire turn rather than landing on something, and exit with another mini turbo. Now, for this upcoming section, you want to do something similar to what you did on lap 1, where you kind of mini turbo trick there and get a low trick off that geyser. And then for here, you want to be double counter hopping to the right so you can get this launch trick off the ramp, and that's where the double is as well, so that's going to be very important to learn. And for this section, again, we're going to have the very similar inputs. Drift off the ramp once again and hold down right, so that way you can cut off this turn a little bit. But there's a set, so you do have to make sure that, you know, if you don't have protection in first or something, you got to make sure you know your game plan there. Now for lap 3, this is the simplest lap of Piranha Plant Cove, but it's still important to learn. You can also trick off this clam if you want. Not too much faster. You can also take that shroomless shortcut on the right, but I'm not even too sure if it's faster. But you want to like take a mini turbo into it, essentially, and trick off both ramps. But it is pretty difficult, so for now, since I don't know if it's faster, we're not going to include it. And here, you want to double SMT, start the second drift before you go off the ramp, so that way you can charge both. And here at the end, you can take a super mini turbo into the off-road, kind of cut that off. I didn't really do that well at the end, but you guys get the point. Madrid Drive. Now this is one of my favorite tour tracks to ever come out, and since it's now in Wave 6, I'll be teaching you guys how to drive it. This, you want to take a Ultra Mini Turbo, hop to the left, and launch trick to the right so that you set up well for the next turn. And upcoming is a very important shroomless shortcut you're going to want to be taking every single time. Drift to the left, hold wide, line up, hop to the left again, and then hop to the left again after you exit to get charged a mini turbo. That will also be in my Wave 6 shortcuts video, so if you guys are curious on how exactly to do that, that was a pretty quick explanation, but the Wave 6 shortcuts has a more in-depth one for you guys. And the rest of the track is just a lot of snaking, a lot of squeezing out mini turbos, and really just setting yourself up well for each turn. And here, you want to be tricking to the right a little bit, so you can go in the cafe, say hi to the toads. That is a lot faster. And here, you want to be launch tricking off this boost panel, taking a mini turbo, either super mini turbo or just regular mini turbo off the glider. Take this geyser if you want, if you have the right cycle for it. And here, you want to be launch tricking off this ramp, so you save quite a bit of time by doing so. And then again, you see a lot of snaking. I did hit the wall a couple times here, but that's besides the point. Didn't even really lose that much time. Now, here at the end, you want to be kind of releasing your Ultra Mini Turbo a bit early there, but don't release it too early because you will end up in the wall. And for the rest of the track, it's just simple driving lines, nothing too crazy going on here. But at the ending section, you want to take it far to the right to not only avoid the soccer balls, but also set up well for this final section where you want to be taking a super mini turbo into the last turn. And that was Madrid Drive. Rosalinas Ice World. Now this one does take a lot of skill to master, but we're going to go over this right now. Super Mini Turbo into Ultra Mini Turbo on that turn will get you a lot of speed. And you want to be snaking to get a launch trick off the icicle ramp thing to take the top path. And the rest of the track is just following the right path into the ending. You can snake a little bit here and then get a launch trick to the right off this ramp at the ending. And then again, we're going to do lots of snaking. Because this is a slippery ice track, you're going to be doing a lot more snaking in general. Now to go top path on laps 2 and 3, there's a couple different ways you can do this without using a mushroom. So the first way is you can launch trick like I mentioned on lap 1. But you can also take a much simpler way, which is going off the left half pipe here. And this will definitely give you enough boost to take that top path. Now we head over to Bowser Castle 3. Bowser Castle 3 is one of the more simple tracks in the wave, but people really like this one, and I don't blame them. It's like super fitting for a final sort of track in the whole entire game. Now, you can skip those 2 corners a little bit, but you have to be careful. For the final one, you want to be releasing your mini turbo before you hop, so that way you can retain your speed. Again, similar situation there, but with the off-road. And you can get an extra mini turbo if you're going for the coins here, while still getting the ultra mini turbo on the final turn. Now, we're just going to show a little bit of an alternate way to take this ending. You can kind of get a little bit of air here and take this kind of tight. But if you want to take the ending turn tight, you want to land in a drift and release really early, because the spiral looks like it's going to go a lot longer, but it's deceptively short of a turn there. Rainbow Road. Now this one, of course, one of the most beloved tracks in the entire franchise. The final track in Mario Kart Wii makes its return into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You can actually get these up to 5 coins on that half-pipe ramp right there, which is also very good to go for in time trials, and maybe even online. So that's very important to learn. And we're going to go over these half-pipes real quick. So how you take these half-pipes, I mentioned it in the Wave 6 shortcut video as well, but basically you want to press R midair twice, taking the end of it, and then hopping over the gap, so you get a little bit of extra air and security. And for this part, this is going to be very important later, but you can actually take this very, very tight. Now, you don't get the half-pipe boost by doing it with this method, but it does save up to about 0.4 if you do it correctly, where you get the half-pipe boost in addition to taking it really tight there. So I'm going to show you guys first how it looks without taking it tight, just taking it normally, which is the more safe way and the safe approach, which is you just go off the top end of it near the left side. But if you take it well, you can actually really save a lot of time. And this method is kind of hard. It's probably the most difficult tech in the entire video. What you want to do here is you want to aim for the left side of the boost panel to start off. You want to drift to the left, hold wide, and then after the last boost panel and before the half pipe, you want to be doing the following set of inputs. First is you want to let go of a drift at the same time. And then you want to press them again, so that way you drift to the left and end up as low as you can off this half pipe without falling off. And it's going to look a little weird, but this is very consistent. And I promise you, this is the most consistent way I've found to make this work. Just kind of left hop just as you're about to get onto the half pipe, right in between the last boost panel and the half pipe, and you will make it every single time with the half pipe boost. And if you fail it, you're not going to be losing that much time. Before you go, I just wanted to mention that I think this strat could be even better, where instead of drifting and then canceling your drift, I think you can just go for a double hop to the left right before the half pipe and get the half pipe boost like this. You have to get the similar sort of timing where you left hop into the half pipe. You can do it in a variety of different ways, but those two methods I think are very good. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That'll help me out a lot. And thank you guys so much. See you guys next time.